Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk, where we take a dive into world sports. This episode will cover the Week 8 college football Saturday action, and we'll go over my picks and give you a little bit of preview of the upcoming games. In case you don't know, my name's Chad, and let's begin with the action between the rivals of USC and Notre Dame playing out in South Bend. 5-1 Irish are 13th ranked right now in the country. We'll be playing host to 3-3 USC, who has been kind of underperforming quite for a while these past few years. But USC has a lot of playmakers, so this offense is prolific. Keaton Slovis has over 1,500 yards, 9 touchdowns, so he will give the Irish secondary some fits. Rushing, Ingram has over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we all know Irish can't seem to stop the run. But the Irish are the cardiac Irish. They always find ways to slug it out, to slow down the pace, and win by committee. I have a feeling this is going to be another thing where USC will make this a game, and Notre Dame will just edge them out at the end. Next, let's go ahead over to Ann Arbor, where the undefeated Wolverines, 6th in the nation, will play host to Big Ten opponent Northwestern, who happens to be 3-3. Now, a lot of experts expect this game to be a blowout, because Michigan looks really, really good on paper, and looks like it'll be one of these teams that should get a very good bowl bid later on this year. I have a feeling that Northwestern will make this interesting. It's just one of these games that people overlook and what they kind of quote unquote trap game, and I think the Wildcats will give the Wolverines fits for 3 quarters, and then won't be to the fourth till Michigan pulls away and actually wins the game. Then we're heading off to West Point, and that's where U.S. Military Academy, home of the Army Black Knights, will play host to 16th ranked Wake Forest. Now, this is going to be, I think, it'll be an interesting matchup, watching Wake Forest take it on this triple option. Army's no slouch. They're 4-2 right now in the nation. They have lost some interesting matchups, but I think this is going to be too much Wake, and Wake's going to continue to dream to lead the ACC. So we'll kind of see how things play out from there. Then we're going to head off to West Lafayette, where Purdue, 25th ranked Purdue Boilermakers, offer their amazing upset of Iowa last week. Will now play host to the 3-3 Wisconsin Badgers. This one's going to be definitely interesting because which team's showing up? Is it the Wisconsin team that was early in the year that struggled? Is it the Purdue team that upsetted the top number 2, number 3 ranked Iowa? It's really hard to determine, and I'm more leaning towards Wisconsin winning this matchup. I believe more in Wisconsin than I do Purdue right now. So I mean, it's just one of those matchups that it's Big Ten right now. I think right now with the I will call like the mid card schools that they tend to kind of beat each other up. And right, Wisconsin's even favored right now, so it kind of lets you know, not many people are seeing Purdue being competitive. I do think it's going to be a very competitive matchup between these two. But I will say that the Boilermakers return back to earth after their upset win over Iowa last week, and the Badgers will escape with the W. Next off, we're going to head off to Ames, Iowa, and watch the 4-2 Cyclones play host to number 8 in the nation, Oklahoma State, who is undefeated. This should be a very good matchup between these two Big 12 opponents. Iowa State's no slouch either. Oklahoma State has shown that they can actually put up some numbers. But, Iowa State's, also it's one of those prolific offenses you have to really pay attention to. Brock Purdy has over 300 yards with 9 touchdowns. Breece Hall has almost 750 yards on the ground with 10 touchdowns. So this is an offense that's built to explode. And I think that they will end Oklahoma State's undefeated season. Even though I said in my after their win in Texas that I believe in Oklahoma State, I do. This will be a good game, but I just think there's going to be too much Cyclones for them to handle, and their undefeated run will be over. Now we're heading out to the Rose Bowl, where number 10 Oregon will face the 5-2 Bruins. It's a classic Pac-12 matchup, and it seems the Pac-12 always tends to beat each other up, and will find themselves, might be looking on the outside, looking in the college football playoff. Right now UCLA is the 1 point advantage in time this video, and they have a lot of guys ready to look at. But if Oregon can limit their mistakes like they did against Stanford, they'll get the Bruins way too much to handle, and I think Oregon is going to come out on top in the Rose Bowl. Then we'll visit number 12 Ole Miss as they play host to 4-3 LSU. This is one Coach Orgeron's farewell tour. But I think Ole Miss right now, there's just too much people you got to really worry about. They do very well on the offense. And LSU is kind of up in the air. Ole Miss is going to end up winning this one anyhow and staying relevant in that SEC West race. Then I'm going to head up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, where the 23rd ranked Pitt Panthers will play host to 4-2 Clemson. Clemson's offense has been it's been atrocious. It has been very consistent. It's the defense that's got Clemson in a lot of these games. Pitt's one of these teams where you want to get behind them, but then they lose at home to Western Michigan. And yes, I will always hang that over them. Even though it's early in the season, they're dominant at Blacksburg. I'll give them props there. They have an offense, but now they're going to have to play a very quality defense. And I foresee, despite being the underdog in this matchup, Clemson winning in Pittsburgh. In one of the rival games in the SEC, it's going to have the 4-3 Tennessee Volunteers visiting number 4 Alabama. Alabama is favored big time in this one. There's Bryce Young right now. It's over 2,000 yards passing, 24 touchdowns. This offense is on fire. It's the defense that's the question mark. And that's defense supposed to be the highlight for this Tide team. I don't really see that one going. I know Tennessee's going to wants to go into Tuscaloosa and looking for the upset, but too much Tide, and the Vols will get washed away. Then we'll head out to the Rocky Mountains and the Air Force Academy outside Colorado Springs, as the 6-1 Falcons will play host to undefeated and 22nd ranked San Diego State Aztecs in a huge Mountain West matchup. Could be a future showdown for the Mountain West Championship. Who knows? One of the things, Air Force needs to get this win, because right now the only black mark on their schedule right now is their earlier loss to Utah State, which is kind of taking them out of the Mountain West, the Mountain Division top seed. And the Aztecs did not look very good last week. San Jose State had to go to overtime to beat the Spartans, and it was 6-6 when they went to overtime. So I'll let you know, there are some possibilities of things happening. And I'm going to go on a limb. It might not be a limb, if you possibly can tell. But I got to go with my brethren, my extended family, the Air Force Academy, and say the Falcons are going to end the Aztecs' undefeated season. Next, the surprise upstart 24th ranked UTSA Future American Athletic Conference member is going to head off to Louisiana Tech to take on the Bulldogs. I see no issues right here. I think UTSA is going to do another dominant performance. It's probably not going to be the 45-0 like they did against Rice. Probably be a little bit closer to earth. So, I think Louisiana Tech will be able to put some points on the board, but I think UTSA is going to be too much, and they continue to win and go 8-0. They continue on with their season of March. And the last game on the docket I'm going to call is going to be 17th ranked Texas A&M playing host to 4-3 South Carolina. Right now, Zach Calzada is doing quite well, over 1,100 yards passing, 10 touchdowns. Spillers almost 660 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns. A&M is starting to find themselves after earlier seasons' missteps. It's shown quite well when they knocked off Alabama 2 weeks ago. They also won last week. Didn't have any emotional letdowns after that. I see the wheels of this Aggie machine moving in the right direction. They're moving forward. Things are falling into place for Aggie Nation. And I think A&M is going to see those offensive numbers increase for their star players. And A&M is going to knock off the Gamecocks quite easily. Those are my picks. Hopefully I do a lot better than I did last week. I mean, that was atrocious, a 4-8 performance. I mean, that was bad. Slightly better than my first time picking the college games. So hopefully I can get back on the winning graces. Like I said, there's a lot of good matchups. I'm looking forward to a quality Saturday watching these games. And just let me know which ones you think. That's probably the most interesting. Which of these picks you think I'm completely wrong with? Who you think is going to be, coming out on top? And, who's your favorite right now for a college football playoff? Just let me know. Leave a comment down below with that. And while you're there, go ahead, smash that thumbs up for me. Give me a like. And once you do that, you can also subscribe if you wish. Once you subscribe, you hit that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I'll see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.